Hello everybody and welcome back to Broken Berean. And it looks like the studio founded by Dr. Disrespect, Guy Beam, Midnight Society is shutting down. And they're canceling their first person shooter, which I believe was called Deadrop. A free to play first person shooter that was going to be like 80s themed and all that. And it's sad. And I didn't cover any of the Dr. Disrespect stuff because I don't like to get in that drama. And it's one of those, did he or didn't he? And it's hard to say. And I mean, it's probably not hard to say, but I mean, all the evidence points to he was acting inappropriately with someone who was not his wife and most likely a minor, and should never have happened, but he did. That's what everything points to. He took a sabbatical, came back. I think he's on Rumble or Twitch or something. I can't remember. I mean, Dr. Disrespect has made a huge impact in online gaming and streaming for a while. I mean, I knew who he was before I ever got back into gaming, before I ever started making videos. I knew who I didn't watch his stuff, but I knew who he was. And I didn't have a problem with him. He just, just didn't watch him. But I was kind of keeping tabs because I knew that he had founded Midnight Society because he, as he put it, I think something in the words of, I don't want to just play games, I want to put something out there. And the studio distanced themselves after the allegations came out, and I don't fault them for that. Absolutely. You kind of got to protect your brand, and you got to protect, okay, this person has probably done something very, very inappropriate that may make us all look bad, so push him out. Got it. Makes sense to me. But it doesn't look like, what's it been, 6 months or so? Yeah, 6 months. And the studio itself is shutting the doors, canceling the game. And I think that's sad. It really is, because we could have got a really, really good independent game, because this would be an independent studio. It's not a major studio. And the programmers have been working on it for years. Some of the people on the inside track got to play what they called snapshots of like little clips of the game, little segments of the game to give feedback. And so it was getting there, but now we're never going to see it. And to me, that's the sad part. Whether it's good or not, we don't even get to see it, and we don't get to experience it. And could it have been good? Yeah, I don't know. We'll never know now. Could it have been something revolutionary? Could it have been something that's just same thing as everything else, just with an 80s flair? Don't know. We won't get to see it. And that means all the programmers, all the staff are having to look for new jobs now. And it is about 10% of the programmers and developers out there have lost their jobs over the past year. And you can say a lot of it is because of budget cutting and things like that, but I think a lot of it comes down to studios have realized that the games that they put all this money into, where the purpose was to push a message over, make a game for gamers, really took a bite out of their budget and said, yeah, no, if you're going to do this, you're out. And that's what it seems to be. We've seen so many flops this past year in 2024, that it's just, yeah. I mean, even flops that weren't even messaging. I mean, what did we have? We had Gollum that was so bad that it's still technically on the potential release for Nintendo Switch. It was supposed to be released back November, and I kept watching to see if it actually showed up, because I don't remember when it was. I made a video a while back because I'd walked into my local GameStop and I saw it. I was like, oh, do y'all actually have this? And they said, no, but you can pre-order it. I was like, no. No, no, no. I was just curious if you had it, and they didn't. Because I was like, it'd be nice to have a physical copy of one of the worst games ever made. You know, I mean, the graphics and everything about it was just insane. You could literally get stuck rotating on a circle or going around and never and not being holding on into anything. Your golem just goes like this and just it was bad. It shouldn't have made it that far with that many glitches to final production, but it did, and it was just a terrible waste of a game. And that studio shut down, and then other studios shut down, like oh, was it Ohana Studios? It was under NetEase. It was great. They put out Visions of Mana, which was an incredible game. I absolutely loved it. I had such a fun time playing it, and that studio is completely gone, which means I don't know what we're going to get for the next Mana series and when we're going to get it or who's going to do it. And that makes me really sad too. So this is just, yeah, there's a lot of this going on, and I think this is kind of that time where we're seeing a bubble kind of pop, and I just from my casual observant and trying to read up on articles and indie developers and things like that, what's going on is a lot of people are like, I don't want to pay 80 to $100 for a game to get a few days early access and then get preached to. And I want to play a game that's fun, that I want to complete, do 100% of. And nope, not going to happen. So I get it. I mean, I tried to 100% a couple games. There's a couple achievements I couldn't get on a few. Like Mission of Snowdriftland, that thing was never going to happen. Never going to happen. Those last two levels are just darn near impossible, I think. I mean, for me, for sure. Probably not to everybody, but for me, it was darn near impossible. I mean, I spent a lot of time trying to 100% that thing. But it was fun. And all it was is just snowman running around. And first-person shooters aren't my favorite type of game. They hold a special nostalgia because I grew up with Doom. You know, I absolutely love first-person shooters for the memory it causes, but it's not my go-to game, style of game. But I'm just kind of like, man, we're not even getting the game. And I don't know if it's because the real reason behind it is just investors pulled out all the money, which I have a suspicion that's the reason. Investors that were in it, like, oh, Dr. Disrespect did this, and yeah, we're pulling money out. No, we're not going to be associated with him. We don't want to fund this, and I have a feeling that's what it was. Don't get me wrong, his name did bring a lot of credibility and a lot of investors in, but once they saw that, they've just pulled out. And it's sad because I do wish that they would have been able to continue and put out the game, but here we are 6 months later after the whole thing went down, and we're just, yeah, no Deadrop, no Midnight Society, another small game studio shut down. And that's kind of a sad night to think about that, but it is what it is, isn't it? I mean, there's nothing we can do. I don't know. Of course, there could be legal issues. I don't know with all that, but it's just a sad day to know that the studio is shutting down. A lot of people lost their jobs, all over one person, and that's sad. That really is, because I think most games, regardless of what they are going to find an audience, and they're out there. You can make games for anybody, but, you know, something like this could have been a big hit, but we'll never know now. So, such a sad time, isn't it, guys and gals? I mean, seriously. What do? It's just sad time. Well, on that note, everyone, I'll say this as I always do. I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it.